If you're a signed
You
artist,
see all
you
that
have
snow out there?
Lost an appeal.
Y'all see it snowing out? You see all that snow out there? Y'all see it snowing out there? It's coming down. Yeah, y'all see all that snow. I'm about to go shovel. But I was on the computer arguing with the young boys about top MCs because they saw my shirt. Yeah, that's right. I had on my naughty shirt. I know him personally. KG, Vin Rock, Tiny. They call him Tretch. If Tretch isn't in your top 10 MCs of all time, then you don't know hip hop. That's right. Check out the Vibe magazine, I think it was, Quincy Jones. First issue. Look who's on the cover. He changed the game back then. So guess what? I'm tired of y'all talking about who is the best MC and all that and won't give my man Tretch his props. Vin Rock, you know we talked about this. Naughty by Nature, get that gear. Get that naughty wear. Go on their website, get that gear. And stop telling me I'm riding this, I'm riding that. No, I knew them. I saw them when they didn't have anything and they turned out to be millionaires. So guess what? You could be mad all you want, but I'm a Naughty by Nature fan. I wear this stuff. I play the music and I know the lyrics. Y'all just be talking about these MCs. You can't recite their lyrics. That's right. It's all right though. It's all right though. So it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm out here. I'm about to go shovel all this snow after shoveling all that snow last week. But it's cool. I'm authorjamesrodman.com. Enjoying Life, My Butterfly by James Rodman. Go get it. Right. Let me just leave you with. You could smoke a spliff with a clip, but there's still no mountain high enough or wide enough to touch. The naughty, nappy, nasty nigga, the nasty, trashy, ho, happy, pappy. That's happy to be nappy. Naughty by Nature. Go get those. Go get that wear. That's right. Go get that naughty gear.
50 Cent lost an appeal in a lawsuit against Rick Ross because apparently in 2015, Rick Ross had used a sample from 50 Cent in the club, which, you know, everybody knows that song. And he had used a sample. And, you know, those two guys don't really get along too well. And then 50 Cent sued him. According to the contract, however, see, and this is the thing people don't understand, ownership. Ownership. You can live in a building and say, this is my building. Not really. You live there, but it's not yours. Or, you know, you can you can say somebody that works at BWR, that's right, it's my company. Well, if you do something bad, you're gone, right? Like this, you get what I'm saying? And 50, he sued based on the fact that he wrote the song, sang it, but Dr. Dre and Eminem owned the song. So this lawsuit was dismissed because he didn't own the rights to the music that he put out. So it got dismissed. He has no say, even though he was the artist performing the song. They said in the lawsuit, well, this is Dr. Dre and Eminem. They own the rights to this song. They didn't sue. You did. You have no rights to sue. You have no claim. Even though he sang the song and wrote it, it might as well be a 50 Cent fan that sued Rick Ross. That's how the court looked at it. And I just thought that was interesting because people really don't think often much about how ownership of assets really work. And it made me think about how a guy like Michael Jackson, once he stopped, people say, oh, Mike fell off. The reason he fell off is because he became a billionaire on the low. No one knew. So he's like, I don't never have to do it. Then they said he was broke, but he's like, he never had to do anything again because when he signed, like, I know it's a bit of a going off on a tangent. Back in 93, 94, he signed a deal with Sony, which has just come into the music business. And he had like a catalog. You guys heard about when he bought the Beatles?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just the Beatles. They always say it's just the Beatles. You can look up his on Wikipedia right now who every artist that Michael Jackson owns. It's practically every artist in existence, from Madonna to Prince to not Prince. I don't think he was on there, but everybody that you know. So he signed the deal. Said, okay, they're going to pay him $100 million for like 4 or 5 albums. On top of that, they're going to do a joint venture with Sony's publishing, which didn't include Michael Jackson's own song. That belonged to him. Like all his music belonged to him. It was just the Beatles, and he had Little Richard and like all the rock and roll black artists from the 50s. He owned those. Then he put that that was his half of the joint venture, and Sony had their half of the joint venture. And Sony would manage it, but they couldn't do anything drastic without having to get Mike's approval. Now that gives Michael Jackson power, right? Now Sony then goes out from 94, whatever, all the way up until 2000 and becomes the largest music and publishing company in the world. Remember, Mike owned 50% of that. So that became worth like 3-4 billion. Michael Jackson owns 50% of that. He does not have to make music. Remember, like his music basically became whack after that. It was like he wasn't doing anything. Then he came out when he was old and washed up, tried to do another record like I'm Back, and it was just terrible because he's too rich. Who is like, he's not hungry. He's like, okay, I have the best album. I'm a billionaire. What am I doing? Let me just travel the world with my kids. That type of stuff, and play with my whatever Disney World I got at home. So that's just that ownership and owning. You can see it right now. Anybody listening, go Sony/ATV Publishing, and you can see every single artist. Now, ATV Publishing is Michael Jackson's publishing company that owned the Beatles, Little Richard, and so on and so forth. He put that in a joint venture. It was with equity contribution, owned half. Sony went out and bought everything. But every time they buy something, Mike owns half. And they were mad as hell. Yeah, he was mad as hell. That's why he always said it was a conspiracy to try to take it away from me. But he had that power, and 50 Cent didn't have that power. So now he looks bad to the public, losing a lawsuit to Rick Ross. So it's just the whole thing about ownership and equity. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, everything is equity. Beyonce says, pay me in equity, It's just, and that whole business boss mindset. And that's what you guys are exhibiting with everything that you're doing. And I hope you continue to inspire people in that regard.
Now, if you're a signed artist and you have publishing, you have to understand that even if you have a publishing qualm, you understand, there is no union for you. You get what I'm saying? There's no union to help you fix the publishing. You got to go to the publishing house. You got to go to your publisher. You got to give you a dispute, and either they hear you or they fix it or they don't. But there's nobody, I deal with people who work in regular things. I deal with Lou Picante. He's the runner of the Teamsters, local Teamsters union for, the sanitation workers and things of that nature. They have a union. They have someone representing them. You understand what I'm saying? So here's what I want to teach y'all. And here's where you have to be who you say you are. For years, I'm not coming at Puff. I love Puff. I swear to God to you, I love Puff. He's my big bro. I learned a lot from the game. You know what I mean? But business is business at the end of the day. And Puff did give us our publishing back after our last dispute, but he still, after that album, after the Last Locks album, we got that. He doesn't take it. I appreciate him for that, and it's cool. But if you call Sony up and you say something like, now we have a song like Big Papa, right? We always love Big Papa. It's supposed to be for charity. We respect that. Hit Sony up. Yo, this is what happened. But guess what? People are collecting on it. It's writers on it. It's all of that. And okay, so now you're collecting on it. Let me get paid. Now, if you ask to get paid from back in the days, they only owe you for the past 6 years. This is a fact. I don't know why. I don't know who made this shit up. This is why we need a union. Now, I'm figuring that if you already know you had an issue and paid someone else on something, you should just call up me and the other guys who wrote the song and pay them. It's not disrespectful, but if I can't talk to Sony, if I can't figure it out with my publisher, what am I to do? I think a lot of MCs don't even know. So if you've been in the game 20-some years and you found out something that they was doing wrong for 20 years, they're only responsible for 6. So I figured once they figured out that problem, like you didn't pay me or something, you would just automatically pay me. Being you pay the producer, shouldn't you pay the writers too? And then why are you paying someone who's actually not a writer? That makes no sense, Sony. Now I know I'm a small-time black guy, but you gotta respect people. You gotta respect everyone. See, like Sony, why are you paying Puff on BMF when I told you to don't pay him on BMF, and he told you, but you still pay him? Then you stopped in the States, but you pay out of state. Who am I to talk to? I don't want to argue with you guys, but then you come to it, and you know what they tell me? I'm trying to be a gangster and extort someone. Not Puff, but the lawyers and Sony. This is what they tell me. You don't have the money for litigation. You're trying to extort. And this hurts me. You know why? Because the next person who doesn't have another fucking life on the side or have another business on the side is going to fall victim to this shit because there's no union or no one to speak to. I'm trying to figure out if I got songs with Mariah Carey, J-Lo, BMF, Akon, fucking myself, Good Times, Locks Joints. The numbers, I don't make enough. Maybe the other people do. I can tell you what I make. I think on publishing for my solo catalog, I make more money on side features than I do with my publishing. I make more money with Cameo. I make more money with fucking whistling than I do with publishing. It's embarrassing that you can't really figure this shit out, and they always got some fucking loophole that you can't figure out. I'm tired of it, dog. Fuck it. Y'all ain't got to pay me, but y'all gonna figure out the way to pay the kids. I make less than 20. I think I want to say I want to make less than, for my personal catalog, I think I make less than 25 G's a year. I don't know how that is. It's confusing to me. I want to understand. So if you have a whole lifetime of catalog, they're only responsible to pay you for the last 6 years. Then they can tell you, nah, I ain't feeling you, we ain't paying you on that, and you ain't got that money to litigate with me. You fucking right. Bro, I thought Big Papa was, nobody was eating off that. Now everybody's eating off of it, but not us, and I'm telling you I ain't eat, and I want to eat, and you telling me you're not going to compensate me, and I'm not going to eat. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not blaming Puff. I'm blaming the whole machine. Sony, Puff, myself, everybody. Sony, you know I should be making more than fucking $25,000 a year. Like, that doesn't make sense. And if it does, just have someone break it down to me. It's not about Diddy. It's not about anybody else's old CEO or publisher. It's about the whole fucking system as a whole. It's about us beyond music. It's about us as a people as a whole. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I literally for the past 5-6 years didn't tell Kiss or shit about what I was doing. I just kept getting the papers, getting in the books, saying I'm going to get us this shit, I'm going to figure it out. Because when something sits in your gut that something ain't right, because I appreciated what Diddy did as a brother, I strongly did. We're saying, here, from this point after that, I ain't getting none of your shit. But it wasn't shit with me. I'm like to Sony, like, yeah, man, something ain't right. And I can't figure it out. And I need you to help me figure it out, because you the guys that's supposed to be paying me. Now, it's not about fuck Puff. He didn't invent the system. Sony didn't invent the system, but somebody did invent the system, and we all keep going with it. Same way I was willing to fall back, keep quiet, feel like my lawyer told me to, sit back, let him send his paperwork in, let him do this and that, and I was willing to get mines and not tell y'all about it. That makes me fucking greedy too, so I can't call nobody guilty or anybody wrong, because I was just at that point. Like that, I'm 46 now and a changed man, but I have to still live by this contract that I signed in 1996. I am a black man that is 46 years old. If I didn't own 4 juice bars and have pharmacy for life on the side and do other side hustles, that means I would be making 20-something to 30-something thousand off of my publishing, which is probably 8 to 9 months of mortgage payments, which isn't proper or correct. I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I'm not the only one. I've heard of a lot of producers, a lot of MCs, a lot of artists with this problem, and it's pretty much embarrassing to probably say, yo, damn, I make less than 20,000 or 30,000 on my publishing, and I've been in the game for years, because that's a harsh reality. And it's also harsh to say I don't understand what's going on in the state. You don't even get health insurance. It's a risky job. You know what I mean? You don't have anyone to break down the shit to you. So, let's get some advisors in here. Let's get some powerful black people to help the next generation and stop the mistakes that continue to happen even way before I got here. They're going to continue to happen. It's going to take people to, you know what I mean? Be strong. There's got to be a better way. My kids' should not be affected by the greediness and foul nature people of this time. It's time for the greed to stop. Let's take care of each other.